Great idea, Princess, diving into a pile of garbage. Hey, when we get out of here, maybe you can show me around your home planet of Alderaan. Oh, too soon.
Hello there.
You're listening to Discard to Reroll. It's a podcast about a little dice and card game we like to call Star Wars Destiny. I'm your host, Mr. Chip, and thank you for taking some time out of your busy day or night or wherever you are. If you're like D-House in the Jedi Trials, you're walking your dog at 5:30 in the morning before work, but wherever you are, I just want to say thank you. And I realize that while you may enjoy me, it truly isn't about me. It's about our friends from deep down south, from parts unknown Georgia. It's Jay and a special guest. We have Sir Christopher here today. Gentlemen, hello. Welcome to Discard to Reroll.
He ugly.
Did we start?
Yeah. Traditionally, this is what we call the intro, but you know what? It's all bets are off today. But we're glad that you could carve some time out of the day. I wish it was a video podcast because we'd be able to see your beautiful faces, and I'm not sure where you even got that hat, Chris.
Oh, I don't know. It's they can't see. It's a Yoda hat with ears, and it says Star Wars on the front. It's my Christmas hat.
Oh, gosh.
It makes him even more ugly.
And,
yeah.
Now look, Mr. Chip, we're gonna have to have a discussion.
Yeah.
You did not run it by me that you're having this trash on the podcast.
Well,
this is mine and your thing. What are we doing with him on here?
I mean, it's double blanks. And I felt like, we talked about this before. I felt like I pushed my way into your relationship and your friendship. I don't want to be the wedge between you two. And I feel like, Chris, truthfully, this is about Chris getting some help today because I feel like things are changing. Things are changing with Chris. Have you watched any of Chris's streams lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I sure have.
I think
they have been so fun. To watch.
Yes. Yeah. Kind of like when the Chiefs played the Jets and the guy took the flag and threw it in the stands. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We're at that point, Chris. So I think, we should talk through some of these things.
It's more like the butt fumble.
Right.
That's what it's more like.
I think Palpatine.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I find your voice very, very charming and smoothing, Mr. Chip.
Yes.
You have the best voice in all of Destiny content creation.
Thank you.
That out there. Discard to Reroll has been great.
Oh, boy.
I really appreciate Jay talking all that trash behind my back. It's been fun being at work, hearing him call me ugly, and knowing he's like an hour away.
Right.
There's literally nothing I can do about it.
Yep. Unfortunately, you get that at home too. So I don't know how, maybe we got to differentiate somehow between the work and home. But we're glad that you're here.
That's the problem is, it's like Destiny's on the mind all day. Go to work, listen to Destiny. Driving home, listen to Destiny. Go home, play Destiny.
Yeah.
Get mad at Destiny. Go to bed, mad at Destiny.
Wake up, ready to play more Destiny.
Wake up, mad
what
at
is
Destiny.
it? What, can I start? And we have a lot of things to cover today, and I want to tell people what we're going to talk about. And of course, the best way to do that is to send us an email at questions@discardtoreroll.com. We have a Twitter, which is fired up now. We had a poll there, which I'll read the results of, and we got to pick a new one for this week, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And thank our Patreons too, which we will in a minute. But before we do, first it was about your storage. Right? About how you store these die for this crazy game. And it went from being an office trash can, Chris, to I'm not sure. There's an argument whether it's a hamper or whether it's a trash can that's in the shape of a basketball hoop. You got to help us set the record straight.
Dude, it is undeniably a hamper. Undeniably a hamper.
Yeah.
You see this.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
You put trash in it, but that doesn't make it a trash can. You can put trash in the forward of your car. Does that make it a trash can? No, it's a car.
How many pairs of pants are you fitting in this, dude? One.
Oh, man.
What the hell kind of pants are you buying?
Did you both buy them at the same store? Did you get them did you embarrassingly give them each other as gifts for each other? You're like,
Christmas gifts. Somebody in the family didn't care.
So I feel like you have a tournament coming up, correct? Isn't this on the 9th?
Yes.
Okay.
4 days from now.
Please tell me you're not bringing that hamper/trash can to the event. Do you have something else?
How else is he going to do it? Do you have your Darth Vader die with you? Can we just...
Thankfully, since my dice are used to being in things that hold clothing, I have a luggage bag for my dice. I'm just going to pour them in that luggage bag.
Great, even better.
It'll settle on in right there.
Oh my God. And then, okay, so I think we can get past that. I think we're all ready to move on. Everything was fine. And then the next thing I know, I'm watching Friday Night Dice, which, by the way, Sir Christopher puts out some great content, has a Patreon. Go and support him. Fantastic stuff. But I'm watching Friday Night Dice, my new favorite Friday night routine, no matter what my family says, and they're a little upset about that. I'm watching, I turn my head away. The next thing I know, I look back on the screen, you're gone. 5 minutes go by, you're gone. The guys on the other end, I see him clicking. You see question mark, hello, nothing. You're gone. Just left. What happened?
Listen, when you roll the pentablanks and the other guy doesn't move, you know what happened.
Five blanks.
You know what's coming. Caramel's coming.
So rolling 5 blanks, that is a 1 in 1,648 chance.
That's with 2 dice that have 2 blanks.
Pretty incredible.
Wow. And you did it, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty
He did
amazing.
it. He pulled it off.
Maybe the Destiny gods are trying to tell you that Palpatine is not your guy. Do you ever thought about that?
Well, if the Destiny gods wanted me to not play Palpatine, they would have sent an ancient lightsaber my way, now wouldn't they?
Right. Well, I think they're worried because you're going to put it in a laundry hamper. So I don't think they really, at the end of the day, feel like you'd be taking care of that. But, well, I think
gods are like up on Olympus, and they're like, I mean, I want to send him these, but he's going to put it in that laundry hamper.
Now, have you both decided yet? I mean, Jay, last time you said you wait till the night before, sometimes the morning of, to pick your deck. And then I insulted you. I was told I insulted you because I asked you, you should be playing the deck that you've been playing the last 3 weeks. And I got mad at you for not playing Mace Windu, and that I was insulting you because you couldn't just pick up any deck and play. Because you said I could pretty much just pick up any deck and play. So I believe you can, but what are you going to play?
He ugly.
Ultimately, what is it going to be?
Dude, I have tested. Me, Chris, D-House, and Mike have all tested for
Thanks
the
for
last,
rubbing it in, but yes.
2 weeks.
Yep.
With all of the decks. And I just have no idea what I'm playing.
Well, I think I saw, Chris, you were playing the R2P2 build, or one of them. And I just remember you saying that you just didn't feel like it was a fit for you.
It's just not a good fit. It's a good deck.
I don't like playing it.
Some people say it's a great deck. Some people say it's a good deck. Some people say it's not that good. A pretty popular opinion among top players is like, it's not that great. It's just Poe is broken with his special chaining, and that's why it's good. But it's just not a good fit for me. I don't enjoy the play style of it. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you want to succeed at Destiny, sometimes you have to play decks you don't really like. Like that was the big thing in Spirit of Rebellion is, I don't want to play Poe Maz, but what choice do I have?
Right.
I think now we have a lot more flexibility as far as like decks that can win. Like there's 5 or 6 decks that you're seeing at the top table every tournament. And R2P2 is definitely one of them. It's just not the deck for me. I don't enjoy the way it plays. And I don't have the play set for it in real life. Like I don't have any handcrafted light bows. I don't have any ancient lightsabers.
Right.
So.
And that becomes a problem. I think that there are some people who are collectors like me and who can't play. And then there's people like you guys who can play really well, but don't happen to have the cards. So I think there's a middle ground.
How that works out.
Yeah, there's a exactly. There's a middle ground someplace in that. Explain for people. So on this podcast, we have people who think they're great players and want to be great players, but might need a little help and encouragement. So you talk about special chaining. That's one of the things you hear a lot. Help me understand that with R2P2. So by special chaining, is it because of Poe's die that he has the 2 focuses that you focus into specials? Yes. And how's it work?
No, what it is so Poe on his die has a 2 focus and a special. And the special says turn another die to any side and give a character a shield. So if you have an upgrade such as Handcrafted Light Bow, which has a special on it that says basically remove all shields and then do damage, I mean, you essentially just have to hit one of those post specials, and then your action becomes resolve specials. So you resolve the post special, You give a character a shield and turn the handcrafted to the special. Your action is still resolving specials, so you instantly get to resolve the handcrafted light bow. So, I mean, when you're rolling in 2 PO die, you're going to hit a focus or a special on one of those dice, and it's pretty nasty considering we're in a heavy shield meta right now. If you get those handcrafted, also Poe Dameron's Blaster has a special on it that does 3 damage if Poe's using it. That is a 2-cost upgrade that you can special chain to do 3 damage out of the gate. And that deck is just super consistent because of Poe. And I think that's why it's winning a lot right now.
Why do you think it took so long for people, like, so at the beginning when that 2-player set came out, and I can't see your Porg back there, but, and you waited at, 1:00 in the morning to get your 2-player set. Why was it that it was the Kylo that was the one, and the villain deck was the best out of all of that, and the other stuff was trash, and Phasma, and the errata came, and then all of a sudden it feels like that went away, and now it's the other side, and that posed the best card in the game, people are saying.
Well, it's because the errata hadn't happened. So you could pair Elite Phasma with Elite Kylo. Kylo destroys any monocolored deck, which the best decks at the time were like Sabine, Ezra, things like that, which are monocolored. And you had Phasma, who you could pair at Elite, who had a 1 damage side, a 2 damage side, a 3 damage side.
Or FN.
And then a focus. Yeah, or you could do Elite FN. It was just ridiculous because you could pair these super powerful elite characters with Kylo. So it was and also Vibro Knife existed. So nobody was playing heroes because all the heroes are great at generating shields, but Vibro Knife wrecks that. So people were just like, I'm not going to. Poe's ability gives a character a shield. Who cares about a shield if Vibro Knife surpasses it? Then the Vibro Knife errata happened. People discovered, oh my God, shields are super good if you don't have to worry about them getting bypassed. Now we're seeing the Qui-Gon Kanans and the R2P2s and all these shield generating decks. You combine that with cards like Field Medic and Ancient Lightsaber. Your characters are just never going to die. They're never going to die. And I played a game against Mike. He was playing R2P2. I was playing Palpatine. I went all in on his Poe. Force Lightning, Palpatine 3s, it didn't matter. I could not kill his Poe. It's just insane how long that deck stays alive.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest reasons that deck is succeeding...
Jay, by the way, this is Jay from Double Blanks, just in case people... How's it going, Jay?
I already said that both characters having 11 health is huge. Like, huge. So no matter who you go for, it's going to take you a while to kill them. Plus... not everyone plays all of these cards in this deck, but these are the cards that are available to you. 2 Dug-ins, 2 Cautions, 2 Force Illusions, 2 Defensive Stance, 2 Shield, whatever other shield card you can think of. Force Heal, 2 Force Heal, or not Force Heal, 2 Field Medic, 2 Ancient Lightsabers. So you could heal at minimum 8 damage. Get 6 shields from Caution. Force Illusion, I would say, is at minimum 3 damage each. So that's 6 more damage you're keeping off your characters. It just has insane sustainability. And once you get train rolling, and it's like you're rolling 1s and 2s, tons of them. Your opponent can't mitigate all your dice. You just survive long enough to kill your opponent, and it's frustrating at times. But you definitely have to play the few shield hate cards that we have right now, like Vibroax and Intimidate and On the Hunt, whatever you can do.
One of the things that people say, so it's accessible, right? The deck, because the cards are available right now if you go into Target and you can get it for relatively cheap. And Jay, you talked about it last week that it's $60. You got to buy 2 of them if you're going to buy them. But at the end of the day, this is not the easiest deck to play for a beginner, correct? Would you say that this takes a little bit of skill to master this deck?
You definitely have to know what you're doing. Like, you have to know what special chaining is. You have to know when to mitigate, when to use your resources. And it's not just a roll out and do damage deck. It definitely takes you using your brains to succeed with it. I don't think it's extremely difficult to play. It's fairly straightforward with what it does, but it's not as straightforward as other decks like roll out, deal damage, play leadership. Roll out, deal damage, price of failure. Roll out, do damage with Sabine, and then steal resources with Ezra claim. It's a lot more. It's got a lot more to it than that. So I definitely think that it takes a little more skill and thought process to play. But I do think it's a deck that if you want to start getting better at Destiny, you can definitely start with this deck and learn how to play it.
So Chris, what beats it? Right, you're going to be driving with your hamper of dice in a couple days, and you're going to be walking into this regional, and everybody's going to be looking at you and knowing that, look at the guy in the bandana. First of all, they're going to say that, and then you're going to sit down with your deck, which it sounds like it's going to be Palpatine, right?
They're going to look at your hair. They're going to look at your ugly face.
Yeah, all of that will happen.
This is going to be easy.
So how does that match up against that deck? Because I feel like you're going to see a lot of that.
Okay, you're definitely going to see a lot of that because people are net decking it and it's very accessible. And people like get the gist of it. Like, oh, play handcrafted lightbow, rolled out, chain specials, take away their shields and win. So the way Palpatine deals with that is start the game with a card called Abandon All Hope. This is the perfect start for Palpatine because if you're new a player and you don't know, Abandon All Hope is an event that came out in Awakenings, the first set. It is a blue event. It costs 2 to play, so you can play it first action of the game. And it says your opponent has to either discard their hand or lose all their resources. So what that does, it's not good for anyone, but for Palpatine, I don't really need those 2 resources to play upgrades. I kind of just want to delay the game as long as I can. So starting the game with that is a good way to guarantee you're not going to deflect me. You're not going to play Poe Dameron's Blaster. You're going to have to roll out your characters with no upgrades and then not resolve damage, but resolve resources if you want to play upgrades this turn, which it basically puts your opponent back a turn. It's a really good way to start a game against R2P2. Secondly, if you're running blue villain, you have to have Intimidates. That deck has Dug In. That deck has, well, not all versions have Dug In, but it definitely has Caution. And it's going to be generating shields with Poe's ability. And Rey is going to be pinging you down with shields every time she activates. If you don't know, new Rey, when she activates, does 1 damage if she has a shield on her. So you have to have shield hate cards. And Intimidate is 0 cost. Remove all shields from a character. So, yeah. Let them Caution. Hit them with an Intimidate and do 3 damage from your hand for nothing. You just have to manage the shield, and it's not gonna be good for anyone except Palpatine, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway. There's a battlefield card called a Cargo Hold that allows you to, when you claim, move an upgrade. One thing about R2P2 is it's very slow. It's not going to claim on you that often. So if I'm focusing down, a character and my opponent plays Ancient Lightsaber to heal that character, I can cargo hold it over to Rey or cargo hold a Force Illusion. Anything that my opponent's playing to keep Poe alive, I can move with cargo hold. And if they claim on Palpatine, I have 1 character. What, you're going to move Palpatine's Force Lightning back to Palpatine?
Switch his hands. He's a righty, and it goes to his left.
Yeah, exactly. It's solid to be able to move that Force Illusion off. Poe becomes very squishy if you can do plays like that. So honestly, just play test against it. Find someone who's good at the deck, play 10 games with it, adjust your deck between games, and learn what it does, learn its combos, and find ways to keep, I think the golden rule, find ways to keep upgrades off of Poe. That's the golden rule to that deck.
And Jay, who are you killing first? You targeting Poe all day?
Yeah, more often than not, you're going to go for Poe in this matchup. Unless they drop like a double Shoto onto Rey turn 1, then I think you definitely go for Poe first. Especially if they drop a Poe's Blaster on Poe turn 1, or like a light bow or anything like that. I'd definitely go for Poe.
So we talked about Palpatine in this matchup, and by the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Discard to Reroll, and we're now talking about metadecks. If you are sitting down at the table, Jay, with your Qui-Gon Kanan, which is what I think you're going to play. That's my prediction, by the way. I don't know if you have the cards to do that or what.
Me.
But if that's the deck you sit down and play with, how does that match up against? I
can almost guarantee you that's not the deck I'm playing.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't have Kanans.
Well, that's probably a problem.
Lightsabers.
That's a
He
problem.
ain't got no ancient lightsabers. He's gonna be over there with Force Heal.
What are you guys gonna? You can't bring a computer and set up a laptop and just like turn it around and say, "Here's my deck."
Yeah, we can just play Tabletop Simulator at the tournament.
Oh no! What are you gonna play? Your Finn deck?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, all right,
dude. I seriously have no clue. I think there are a lot of good decks out there. Kylo Anakin is good.
Mm-hmm.
5-Die Villain is a very cheap deck that I know I have all the cards for.
Well, there you go. Okay.
That is really good.
Excellent.
I don't know. There are so many good decks that like could do well. It's just you got to be able to beat R2P2 basically. So if your deck doesn't beat R2P2, then do not play it.
So here's where I feel my role is tonight for you guys. I feel like we have to work with you, Jay, on decisiveness, making that decision, committing to the decision, sticking through it, and just feeling good about it. And I think Chris, we have to work with Chris on not rage quitting, right? Not going on tilt and worrying about, right? Because I think, when you leave your stream for 5 minutes, that usually, unless you have to go to the bathroom or you had like horrible diarrhea, which you don't want to have on stream, that would be awful. Right? Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe that would help ratings. I don't know. People like stuff. Who knows what they like? But at the end of the day, I feel like both of those things.
Buns. You had to go get some honey buns.
Honey buns.
For 4 hours. I walk away for like 20 seconds, and it's like betrayal.
Actually, I believe that. Well, I didn't have time to get the sound clip, but maybe I can insert it in. I feel like there was. It wasn't really leaving. Would you call that leaving? Did your headset survive? I feel like that was the.
Yeah, I'm wearing it right now. It's solid.
Yeah, it still sounds pretty good. It kind of launched in orbit, but hey, 5 blanks I think would test the mettle of any player, so that's all right. We're going to give you a pass.
Definitely. Especially when you have no cards in hand to reroll.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And you're playing Palpatine.
When you can't reroll and you roll the pentablanks, it's a lot of fun, let me tell you.
Speaking about Sabine Ezra, I feel like both of you guys really like that deck. Are you going to play that, Jay?
Oh, God. Well, I don't have 2 Sabine,
so
and I don't have 2 Ezra,
okay.
So looks like I'm
Jay,
not playing that.
Quick question, Jay. Do you collect Star Wars Destiny cards? That would be my first question I would ask you. And then you don't have 2 Ezra? Ezra,
I have like no Empire at War. I told you all the Empire at War I have.
I thought you were kidding. It made good radio. I didn't know. I got like 7 Ezra.
I'm broke. Oh, that's good radio.
Yeah, right. It helps your Patreon. I don't know, people. You got to help out here. Speaking about Patreon, I do want to say thank you to the people who are trying to help this trash and our show. And that's Mike Rudin. Mike. You guys played with Mike. He's a supporter.
We practiced with him.
Yeah, dude's awesome. And SW Destiny is a great site. You should check it out. And the Jedi Trials. I was waiting. My episode didn't come out today, so I'm jonesing for that. Jason Belts, by the way, ripped on Jay, but he's from the Western New York area, so it's nice to see people from Buffalo and Albany and Syracuse. Buffalo, Chris, you're familiar with Buffalo, yeah? New York. God. And C-Dep was our very first patron. I want to thank him. Andrew Cravens joined, and Anthony Carrizales. I think I'm saying his name wrong. He is a high roller, Jay. High roller. He's in the highest tier. Lando's high roller. That means he's going to be on the podcast when the new set drops, which, gentlemen, did you hear the news today about the new set?
Oh, we heard it.
I feel like I was all excited for Christmas, and this is going to be, we were going to do our Christmas episode. I had music picked out. It was going to be nice. We'd have a little fire going in the background. We talk about things we want for Christmas. And Legacies was on my list, but not anymore.
Oh, well, now.
Not anymore.
I think the pre-release event is still going to be in like 10 days.
Of Legacies?
I think the pre-release is still going to be on the 15th.
Okay, how's that possible?
So what they did with Spirit of Rebellion, it really sucked, but this is what they did. They were delayed. So what they did is they got as much product as they could and flew it here. and shipped it out to all of the pre-release events, but they only gave a few boxes to each place. So you have just enough for a pre-release event, but you can't buy any more.
Well, it's like we're talking about pre-release in like 10 days. When I think Legacies, I was like, okay, probably like January, February at the latest, and it's December, and we're talking about getting Legacy. It's just weird. It feels way too soon to be even.
Well, the set's not actually dropping until like the 1st of January.
They said early first quarter next year.
Yeah. And it's not going to drop till in January.
January 1st. That's as early first quarter as you can get.
I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be much later for some reason. I don't know why. But.
Well, I mean, even if it's middle or late January, it's going to be in January when the set drops. But I definitely see them doing the pre-release soon.
What about Rivals? Did they say anything about that?
We already saw somewhere that Rivals was dropping in December.
Right. I just don't see it. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. All I know is I had to change my Christmas list. That's all I know.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Destiny's getting a little weird. I don't know if it's Destiny. I think it's just FFG. They do things interestingly.
I think it's very difficult managing and being able to determine when things are going to finally be done in production, and then if anything goes wrong with production, it delays it, and they gotta do more production, and then they gotta wait for it to get on a boat and sail across.
Listen to this guy, ladies and gentlemen.
Ocean.
Jay's Cards and Games, right here. You know how it goes.
Jay's Cards and Games.
Wow, isn't that your email too? I don't know. Yeah,
it's hard to manage all that kind of stuff and be able to tell someone an official release date sometimes.
I feel like we have an FFG apologist in our midst. That's what we have here. So I feel that is true. But as a collector, the guy who actually buys these cards, I feel like a little more information would have been nice. Like the spoilers are great, but it would have been nice to know like when it's gonna happen. I feel like they still don't have a good idea on that yet. Just a little bit more specific of a date. And I feel like Magic and the Wizards of the Coast, like they've got it down. They've got that system down, locked, everything. And I just feel like FFG is sometimes missing that boat.
I think it's like this thing. It's like the FFG is already pretty secretive. Like, especially with like erratas and stuff. Like, you're not supposed to know about that till they want you to. And same with the release dates. They don't want you to know anything until they tell you.
Right. I don't know. They use the idea that Lucasfilms is very invested in it, or Disney, whoever it is. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think from a business point of view, it's like, we don't have to tell you, so why should we? Like, right. You're going to buy it anyway, right?
Right. Well,
you're not going to not buy the product just because they didn't tell you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to get offended by that and sell your collection.
Some people might. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, I think the support they did for the packs got everybody excited. It doesn't take much, It doesn't take much to get people excited. Those spot glass promos. Remember when you ripped them, Chris, about the junk that they gave out?
I want the Palpatine one so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet though. So I feel like that got people excited.
I can't wait to wait till October 2019 so I can be in a glass qualifier and win one.
Yeah,
that's what it
chance.
Feels like.
For sure.
It feels like it's so long from now.
By the time that happens, everyone will be playing Indirect Damage. Palpatine won't even be playable.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. And Jay still won't have a deck for regionals, which is intriguing. Yeah. What about this? What if I told you this, though? If I said any player may take an action to force you to activate this character. After you activate this character, reroll all dice showing a symbol not showing on his character die. That's pretty good.
I would tell you that I am 100% playing that character.
It's a 7/9.
7/9.
Jar Jar Binks. Clumsy Outcast, 7 health. I thought this was a joke. I saw it on Reddit. And by the way, we're talking about new cards that were just spoiled like today. It just happened a couple hours ago. And I saw Clumsy Outcast is what it says underneath there. See, so this is perfect. This is all we needed. Just show us this. We're happy. And give us a date when we can get this.
Every time I play a game with Jar Jar and my opponent God rolls, I'm going to activate Jar Jar, re-roll it. It's like they have nothing but 3 showing. They re-roll to the blanks. Oh, no!
So 7-9. 7-9. What do you think about this card?
It's super interesting to say the least.
It creates kind of a... for as dumb as Jar Jar is, it really creates an intellectual battle. Because it's like, I could activate, but if I roll good, you could activate my Jar Jar and make me re-roll it. Or I could bait out the activation, make sure you don't God roll, activate Jar Jar, and make you re-roll. Because Jar Jar has no direct damage size except for the indirect damage. So maybe you play him in an indirect damage deck where it's like, if you God roll your damage, you have that chance of not having to re-roll it, but your opponent does. I don't know. I don't know what deck you play Jar Jar in. He's a filler character with low health. Not that great. Well, I say not that great of a die, but you get 2 of them for 9. So it's like, if you roll in Jar Jar and you get like a discard and a resource, that's pretty good. Because 1 discard can cripple your opponent's turn. And it's like, you take your resource. Now you have 3. You can play a 3-cost upgrade turn 1. So honestly, getting 2 die of Jar Jar for 9 can kind of be good, I think.
I think that it could be cool. I'm not like, I didn't think about it this way when I first read it, but like, if you roll out and you hit double blanks, you roll out Jar Jar and you hit a disrupt or a discard or something, you get to reroll your dice. So
yeah, unless he rolls the blanks.
Unless he rolls a blank, then you're screwed.
But you also have room then for, how about this, a runaway Boomus? What is a runaway Boomus?
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Elite Jar Jar, and I'm going to have 2 of those things in my deck, and it's going to be sick.
So that's a power action, and it's a support artillery, and it's spend 1 resource to roll a runaway boom. It's Boomus, right? Is that how you say it?
I have no clue.
Okay. Boomus.
Boomba.
Come
on, this is the Boomba.
I thought it was Boomba, but it's Boomas. So you spend 1 resource to roll a runaway Boomas die in your pool. Set aside that die after it's resolved or removed. Use power action once per round. You can only do that. Can you spend more than 1 resource?
No.
So it's just 1. So it's basically you roll this. You can roll it in and then roll in another one if you spend 1.
Yeah, or if you have 2 out, you roll in 4
total. Right, if you spend 2 resources, but you can't take when can you do the power action?
Once per turn.
Yeah, but isn't that your action?
Yeah, so you'd have to activate 1, activate the other one, power action, and then you have 4 on the table.
Okay, but that's on 4 turns. It takes 4 turns to do that.
Action.
4 actions. Yeah. 4 actions.
Well, if you resolve 12 indirect damage, then it's worth it.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. And that's a 3 cost.
I just want to real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but Jar Jar has 1 indirect damage on his die. So
yeah, and then you roll in Jar Jar. You have to reroll all of the indirect damage.
Oh.
I said this in my spoiler review video, but I'll say it again just because I think it's so funny. So if they have 1 health Palpatine and you roll in Jar Jar and you get the indirect damage, Jar Jar can kill Palpatine. Jar Jar can kill Vader. Jar Jar can kill Kylo.
And I feel like that's accurate. Like, accidentally it would happen if that happened, because he's a clumsy outcast.
No, he is the Dark Lord. Don't you misunderstand this. He is.
God. What comic did I not read? Did I not see some play or something like in the canon that I missed? Jeez. What about this guy?
I'm trying to remember what they call it in Phantom Menace. It's like, here, Jar Jar, take the Boomba. And he's like, I don't want the Boomba. He's like, you got to take the Boomba.
Yeah. That's more than I've talked about that movie ever right there. So I actually want to see it again.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. How about this guy, though? I think we saw Greedo before, right? Where it's before this character is defeated, roll any number of his character die into your pool, then you resolve any number of his character die in the order of your choice. How do you see that working?
I think... Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, you're perfect.
Okay. I think because he's so cheap, he really creates targeting issues in decks. So, like, if you pair him with, like, Politic, it's like, if you kill Politic, Greedo might go off on you as a late game as a finisher when your characters have little health left. If you go for Greedo, Politic might reset. So I think there's decks where he fits in nicely. I think his ability kind of needs a lot of luck, but I think he's solid. I think he's okay. They definitely got the thematic, like what this character did in Star Wars down. He gets shot, you know?
Yeah.
He gets killed.
What do you
They
think?
got that right.
What do you think, Jay?
I think that he's really interesting, and like if you pull it off, you're about to die. You roll out his 2 dice that have mediocre damage on it, and you get the 4 damage and kill a character and win. Then it's super cool. But I don't see that happening very often. If they go for him first, that's probably the best scenario where you get to use his dice twice, and then whatever character you have paired with him is still alive. He's cool. He's interesting. I like his cost. You get to pair him with higher cost characters or a bunch of lower cost characters for pretty cheap. He's just not super exciting for me.
So one of the characters that I think is ridiculous, but is a cool card, is Bib Fortuna. So help me understand.
I really like that character.
It says roll a character. So it's got a 1 focus, disrupt, 1 resource, and 2 specials in a blank. It's roll a character die on one of your other characters into your pool. Help me, and it's a 9/12, 9 health. Help me with this guy. How can he be used?
I was saying this probably isn't.
By the way,
playable
one
at
more
all.
thing. He has 2 breasts on his head, just so we're. That's what the card looks like. Sorry.
The one problem with this character is once your other character dies, he does nothing. Essentially, he's trash. But what is cool is if you play something like Darth Maul, right, and you get Maul's Saber on him, you roll the specials of Bib. You resolve Maul's dice. You resolve the Maul's Saber die. You use both of the specials, get Maul's dice back out there, and use that power action of Maul's Saber and use that again. And you can do just tons of... basically use Maul twice.
That seems...
But
Yeah.
that requires a lot of luck, and if Maul dies, you're screwed.
Well, here's the thing. He has 2 specials, Bib does,
Yeah,
on his die.
it's definitely possible.
I think, like, if your character is going to be known for his special, you should have 2.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, does Padme have 2 or 1? I can't remember. I haven't played Padme in so
2,
long.
I think.
Like, I think specials, because it's like with Kylo, old Kylo. It's like you build your deck like, okay, I'm going to roll this special, and it's like you never roll it, and then when you do, it's trash. I think characters that have specials, like Yoda. Yoda has 2 specials. Yoda's character is defined by his specials. Yoda is going to hit those specials. But it's like, I've gone, like old Poe, I've gone full games where I don't hit the Poe special, you know?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
1 in 6 chance. So I really like that they're making characters that have 2 specials on their die. So that it's like, this character does this, and they're going to do this. That's solid.
Yeah, Padme has 2, which you were right. So
Yeah, she does have 2.
So, Chris, you did a video already on this earlier, but tell me, out of all the ones, rather than go through each one, which is the one out of the batch that just came out is the one that excites you the most, or at least intrigues you the most?
Of the characters?
Yeah, of any of the cards that just released in this latest batch of spoilers.
Oh man, I can't remember his name. I'm gonna have to pull it
Saul
up.
Guerrero.
No, not Saul. The
last-
businessman.
Hondo.
Hondo.
Hondo?
What is he from? Because I don't know.
Oh, Naka.
He's in both Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars.
He's a respected
trash.
businessman.
Gotcha.
He's a really, really cool character too.
So I wanna talk about his ability because I need to pull him up, but he has 2 specials, right?
2 specials. It's the deal 3 damage to an opponent's character unless that opponent gives you 1 resource.
So he deals 3 damage for what he costs. You can play him elite for 15, I believe. For what he does, if you hit the special, deal 3 damage unless they pay your resource. He makes disrupts incredible because even if you have 1 disrupt, you're preventing your opponent from spending 1 resource.
He has a
Because
2 disrupt side, too.
Yeah, well, he has 2, but like if you have like a die, just like I say you can't play BB-8 with him, but like a BB-8 die that just rolls with 1 disrupt. You're
Right,
like, oh,
right.
great, 1 disrupt. He makes that disrupt incredible. because if your opponent spends one resource, you're going to disrupt the other, and suddenly you have a 15 cost character with 2 3s that you don't have to pay for. If you can keep your opponent's resources at 0, oh my god, the value you get from this guy. And 2 3s that you don't have to pay for. That's better than Grievous. That's better than Mace. Like, it's incredible the value you can get from this guy if you make, like, play Salvage Stand. You know, roll out, hit the disrupt, take away their resource, and then re-roll into your specials. You know, play Emperor's Throne Room. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, he's super good.
I'm so stoked about playing this character. I don't know who he is or what he does, but my God, that die.
He is a neutral character, so you can play him on either side.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
I didn't know.
But think about this. Poe, Hondo.
Oh, God.
New Poe, Hondo.
Oh, God, I'm about to get out the game.
You just special chain like crazy. Or you hit the double focus and go to the 2 3 sides.
What about Yoda? Hondo?
Or Yoda.
It's like Yoda special.
Get a shield
turn force speed to the special, resolve the force speed, disrupt him, and then turn Hondo to the special with the other Yoda die. Legacy is going to be we have to have a solution for special chaining in Legacy, or it's going to be ridiculous.
I definitely think it's coming. I think it's going to be something to the effect of, if the die didn't have a special on it already, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be something. Maybe it's you can turn 1 die. They're going to have to do something. You just came up with 7 ways to take 20 turns in a row. Really?
It's going to get ugly, dude.
Off a guy I never even heard of. Hondo Onaka.
Hondo.
What is it? Onaka?
He's in Overwatch.
He is insane.
He's in Overwatch. Is he an Overwatch character too?
No.
It's Hanzo.
Oh, Hanzo. That's close.
Is he an Overwatch character too?
Oh, well, there's Hanzo, but that's in Samurai Showdown. But you guys weren't born when that game came out. So what about you, Jay? What's your favorite card of this bunch?
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the character I play, dude. I'm telling you.
Just him.
I think you should.
One.
I think you should. That'll be perfect in your collection. You'll roll in with your hamper with 2 dice in it.
Archangel is really cool.
Archangel. Let me see if I can bring that one up.
It's a ship and it looks cool.
Very cool. After you activate the support, you can activate up to 2 of your other supports in the order of your choice.
Yeah. So basically, you play partnership and you roll out 3 supports and you kill somebody.
That's nice. Maybe vehicles will actually be a thing. It's possible.
Probably not, but who knows?
Awesome. That's awesome stuff. Well, I mean, it was good that dropped. They brought some stuff to the party. Yeah. It's just we won't be able to play it for a while.
Yep. Looks like it.
But you can on tabletop, right?
Yes. That's the best part about it.
Which is nice.
That's why I don't have any products.
So I think you really should bring. You know what? You could bring in like a one of those tablets.
Tablet?
Yeah, like a Surface. Turn it over and like, all right, let's do this, and set up. You'd be all set. And when Chris rage quits and throws all his dice,
actually table flip,
like for real. It's like a virtual experience, but like you're doing it for real. See, I think we just figured this out.
The last time I actually table flipped, I lost a Luke Skywalker die. Or Luke Skywalker's lightsaber die.
Jeez. Is it in Jay's basement somewhere or something?
We have no clue where it's at, dude.
It's in Australia.
Did you flip it at Jay's house?
I'm serious. I played this guy from Australia, and he was playing Grievous, and he took my lightsaber, my Luke Skywalker's lightsaber with Grievous. I forgot to get it back.
Oh, no.
And I messaged him on Facebook, and he's like, I'm in Australia, mate.
Yeah, like, thanks for the die, mate.
Of course, it's across the world.
Oh, man.
I was like, it's okay. It's a unique weapon. I only need 1 die anyway. It's not like I can play 2 and roll into.
Well, guys, thank you for being on tonight. I wanted to talk to you about Christmas lists, but it didn't seem like you made any Destiny-based Christmas lists, did you? Did you ask for anything Destiny-related for your...
I definitely said that if Empire at War is out, that's what I want.
I think that's already out. The good news.
Like that. Or not Empire at War, Legacies. Sorry.
Okay. So, great. You're going to send them to a card store, and they're going to be like, what is he talking about? It's not even there.
I also wish to win regionals. That's the other thing I asked for Christmas. So there's that.
That's great. That's cheap. I'll give that to you, Chris.
Get on it.
Anything for
system?
Anything from you, Chris, at all? Here, will this help you? I feel like we need to get you guys in the mood a little bit. Hold on.
Let's hear it.
Oh, it's not working anymore. This whole thing's it's falling apart.
I'm not in the mood anymore.
Now, are you in the mood?
You ruined it. You ruined it.
Chris, can you tell me what you're looking for this Christmas when it comes to Destiny?
This Christmas
or Hanukkah? I'm not sure. I'm not judging. What would you like? Tell me. Tell Santa Destiny. What would you like? If I could make anything happen, is it an ancient lightsaber?
Like Mr. Chip dressed up as Santa and I'm on his lap.
That would not be good. That's not a gift I can give.
What you want?
How about storage? Would you like actual
perfect voice for a mall Santa?
Would you
like?
Oh,
come on, tell me what you want. Let me hear it.
Would you like Star Wars Destiny Ultimate Destiny die box from Purple Gear
Ultimate card
on Etsy?
No, I got my laundry hamper.
Listen, this holds 160 dice. It's $12.74 right now on Etsy.
Hamper holds 300. So.
Okay, all right. You don't have to have this one. I've got another one for you. I know what you want, Jay. I know what you need.
How much that hamper cost?
Jay, how about this? What if I got you, Santa Destiny got you from Feldher, the Mini Plus case for Star Wars Destiny, 200 die.
Oh!
Wouldn't you be happy if that showed up under the tree?
So happy.
Well, guess what? You're not getting it. It's $39.99. All your Patreons just left you. You get nothing.
Santa says that to
nope.
you.
Santa says you don't get it.
It's $39.99.
Nope.
I got that money.
How about this? What if I got you, Chris? What if Santa Destiny gave you from KMC? It's the Perfect Barrier side-in card sleeves. See, it's not good enough just to sleeve your card. You have to double sleeve your cards. So you sleeve it in this, and then you sleeve it in another one.
You remember in the ER when I had to collect that copay, and they had Medicaid, but we don't take out-of-state Medicaid. And this was like in December, and this grown adult, this father looked at his son and said, "Well, there goes your Christmas this year."
Oh no! Is that really what did the kid do?
This ain't happening this year.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. He said, "Well, it looks like we ain't having Christmas this year."
Oh no! That's not what Santa Destiny would not let that happen. No,
I got another ER story real quick. I know you got to go, Mr. Chip.
No, tell me. I was just going to read Christmas gifts, but go ahead.
There was a guy. He like fell out of a tree or something and broke both of his arms.
Oh,
both of them.
Oh,
so they had like cast on both of his arms. So I was like, I got to go in there and get C-3PO's copay.
Oh,
it was great.
Were they connected with like that bar in the middle?
Yes.
Oh,
he looked
no.
exactly like C-3PO.
Oh.
It's awesome.
Well, happy holidays, everyone.
It would have been awesome, but this guy was a complete jerk. So it's like...
Well, he just broke both his arms.
When you start yelling at people trying to help you, I officially get Hey, some people get a license to kill. I get a license to make fun of you.
His arms were broken. Both of them.
He'll be all right.
My heart gets broken, and you don't see me cussing out nurses.
Oh, man. Well, guess what? I was going to get you something real special, too. How about the Star Wars Destiny 2-player game?
Destiny Santa?
Yeah, the Star Wars Destiny. Happy holidays, everyone. The Star Wars Destiny 2-player game. It's $26.80 from Amazon with Prime.
Oh!
Clearly, Jay, you need that because you have 17 cards. You can't even field a legal deck. So I don't know if you can play with less than 30 cards.
17.
Yeah, and 13 die, which is terrible. Well, there you go. That's it. How about some custom tokens from Team Covenant? No?
I like custom tokens now.
You could get them from Team Covenant. Has them on their website.
This is what's supposed to teach us how.
Well, you blew it. No, you guys both blew it.
Man, where's the shrinky dinks and the easy?
You're not doing. No, I'm not telling you anymore.
Where's the shrinky dinks?
All that good trash you were.
Everyone, do you hear this? Do you hear what they're doing right now? See, they're picking on the older player. I'm the older player. This is Destiny. Elder abuse right here.
Look.
It's like he
just because I didn't know what C-3PO did. Just because I didn't know what C-3PO did.
Get your little elves. To work.
Yeah.
And get those shrinky dinks rolling. All right. look, Coach.
He has
Santa
elves,
Coach.
and they're just like sitting outside smoking cigarettes. There's one guy
You're a
asleep.
mean one, Mr. Grinch.
That's what we're dealing with here. That's the holidays. You talked about a guy who couldn't pay for insurance for his kid. You laughed at a guy with 2 broken arms,
You're as charming as any.
and you mocked my shrinking dicks. Perfect.
He had 2 broken arms.
Good Lord.
Like,
Well, we hope you've
broken
enjoyed
arms,
Discard to
and he was
Reroll,
like,
everyone.
Damn it!
It's a podcast about Star Wars Destiny and
It's like,
Jay and Chris's ER stories.
how am I supposed to do the do now? Dang it.
You guys are really the best.
He was like, why me?
Yeah. Well, maybe he shouldn't have been in a tree. What was he doing in the tree in the first place? Did he mention that?
Who knows?
Good Lord.
Building a treehouse for orphans.
The good news is this is an hour, folks, you will never get back. So there you go. We took it from you, stole it. But hey, Chris and Jay, both of you, truly, I want to end on a positive note. Thanks for all that you do for the community. Chris, even though you rage quit now, everybody loves your channel. And how can they see you? What do they do? How do they find Sir Christopher on the internet?
Go to your nearest waste management facility.
Yep.
And just look at the pile of trash.
And they'll probably
that will
see
be
Jay's deck in there.
equivalent
Yeah.
To looking me up on YouTube.
Yep. So on YouTube, it's Sir Christopher, formerly the
Sir
Crime Lord.
I am the Neon Knight.
Oh, now you're the Neon Knight?
I am the...
Yes. Perfect. Plenty of time to come up with that one.
You are-
We got all
you
day.
are
We got all day.
spot on.
I am the Ningus to the
And Jay, of course, from Double Blanks, how do they find you? What do they do? How about a website, guys? You
Go
ever thought
to
about a website?
iTunes And look up Discard to Reroll. That's
There
where
you
you'll
go.
find me.
That's it. That's where you find you.
Also, you'll find me and Chris on that trash called Double Blanks. You probably already know who we are if you're listening to this.
I think they do. And by the way, a lot of people said nice things about you guys. I didn't read the poll. Wait, hold on. I got to read you the poll.
Read the poll. Don't we have a question of the week?
Yes. Well, I got all thrown out because Chris. The poll was, let's see. Let me click on this.
Did I ever
Again.
tell you all the story about when Elvis met President Nixon?
No.
Let's hear it.
Okay, well, Elvis was at this club, and a guy walked up to him, and he was like, I could get everyone in here kicked out. And Elvis was like, now how are you going to do that? And the guy was like, I'm a narcotics officer. I say the word, and y'all got to go. And Elvis is like, that's awesome. I need that. So he goes and meets President Nixon, and he's like, hey, man, I need you to make me a narcotics officer. I need that badge. And Nixon goes, can we do that? And he goes to talk to like the chief, and he's like, we can't do that. And Nixon was like, screw it, Elvis, you're officially a narcotics officer. And Elvis was like, thank you. And then like he took in a homeless guy, and the homeless guy like stole his jewelry and like left in the middle of the night and got on a plane. And Elvis figured it out, rushed to the airport, chased down the plane waving his badge, and stopped the plane and got his jewelry back. But but when he was like, why'd you do it, man? Why'd you take my stuff? And he was like, I'm hungry. And Elvis completely forgave him and gave him money. Such a cool dude.
It's Discard to Reroll, everybody, the holiday episode. So we hope you enjoyed that story. Also, the question of the week is which outcome. What do you say again? How do you say it?
What? How could you do it? Why'd you do it, man? Why'd you do it?
Which upcoming edition to Star Wars Destiny do you feel will have the biggest impact on the game? Is it Elvis, Nixon, indirect damage, neutral characters, plot cards, or Yoda? So there was a bunch of votes, and you know what won?
Nixon.
We talked about it last week.
Nixon.
I think it was indirect damage.
Yeah, but that was
Nixon
last
won,
week,
but
Jay.
he was impeached.
A lot of people listened, and they voted. It was indirect damage won. You gave it away. Indirect damage. You're right. Indirect damage.
Yeah, I talked about this on my channel, but it's like, how do you incentivize people to play indirect damage over normal damage? And the answer is you just make it where like, okay, you can either do 2 normal damage or you can do 5 indirect.
Right.
Which is why I think Palpatine is going to be unplayable in the next expansion.
Or you rotate all the people out that had regular damage and only have
Oh my
indirect
God,
damage left.
nothing but indirect. That sounds
That's where
like
they're headed. It's kind of where they're headed. So indirect damage, by the way, it was closer than you thought. It was 43% Jay, even though you're Mr. Know-It-All, and 36% plot cards we're second.
Nice.
Neutral characters,
7
we're
indirect
18.
damage. I'll put it all on Jar Jar.
There you go. And play a Bomba Spear or whatever those things are. That'd be great.
Bomba Spear.
So what's a good question for this week? How about a game related question? When will Legacies release?
Yeah, there you go.
Could be. Will we have any new Destiny product before the holiday? Whatever holiday you
Jar Jar
celebrate.
Binks be playable?
There you go. That's a good one. What do you think about that, Chris?
Will Jar Jar Binks be playable? Yeah, I'm curious because people out there like to abuse the boundaries of the game and like to come up with stuff I couldn't even think of, man.
Yeah, dude.
So let's do it. So will Jar Jar Binks be playable? I have an opinion on that. And Jay might actually get a couple of those die. That'd be good. And if you have any cards that you could donate to Jay, it sounds like he needs them. Just go to the Patreon and they can give you some cash for some cards. I'll send you. I have like 19 Ezra if you really want to play that deck. Do you really want to play CB? Is that why you don't like it so much? I feel like you're angry about it because you just don't have the cards. We can make it happen.
I don't want to play that trash.
Do you want an Ezra spot glass? I'll get you one.
I played against Chris last night and I rolled in Sabine 2 rounds in a row and hit the double 3s.
That's awesome.
With her ambush activation.
Did he rage quit?
Let's not talk about it.
Went and played another game, so you call that what you will.
Well, guys, seriously, thank you. It's late, and I appreciate you taking time to come on today. It's for Jay and Chris. I'm Chip. Thank you so much. It's just got a reroll.
Thank you for having us on, man.
You're welcome. Visit the website, head over to the Patreon, and just be a part of the show. Just tweet and have fun because we're having a good time. So thanks. We'll catch you on the flip. I don't know how to. What's it? I need to end it. I need an ending.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
There you go.
On the flippity flip.
I think when you're over 40, you can't say catch you on the flip. I feel like there's like a limit.
I don't think anyone at any age should be able to say that any longer. It's not 1980.
All right. We'll catch you on the reroll. How about that? Hey, Coach. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
At last, we meet for the first time for the last time.
Before you die, there is something you should know about us, Lone Star.
What?
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
What's that make us?
Absolutely nothing.